Hey there, it's Allegra, and today I wanted to talk to you about an idea I've been tossing around about rubber bands. So I want you to imagine that this little rubber band is your brain, it's your awareness about yourself, it's the things you know about how you and your life work and your brain works. And most of us are walking around just with these little rubber band brains, going through our days and thinking that that's just what it is. There's our brain. But the beautiful thing about your brain is that it has the potential to grow and to stretch. And the way to stretch and expand what your brain is capable of is to be very deliberate about putting yourself in situations where that happens. So obviously I'm a coach, so that's what I try and do with every conversation and interaction I have with my clients is to, or anyone I connect with, is to really ask questions and push them to stretch their brain and discover insights and awareness that they weren't even aware were there. But you can do this too, even if you're not working with a coach. And I think some of the ways to expand your brain and your awareness are through things like reading really interesting books, having amazing conversations with the people that you know, by simply opening yourself up to the possibility that your brain can stretch a little bit, in fact, a lot, you are going to have a lot of new discoveries and personal growth, which I think is awesome. Now, what happens though, and this is what triggered all of this, is my thought was, all right, so I have these conversations with people, and during our coaching conversations, I can actually hear their brain expanding and new insights are coming up, and it's really, really exciting. But the thing about rubber bands and the thing about our thinking is that it's very easy and natural over a period of time for that stretch to spring back to what it was originally. So the insights that were discovered can kind of be lost in the shuffle as we start to revert back to old habits and thinking patterns. So I've been trying to figure out, well, how do you keep the stretch? And one way to do this is to be deliberate about documenting the things you learn about yourself and the insights that you have. So sometimes I tell clients to take notes after our sessions, to really write down what they discovered for themselves. You can write yourself a letter. If you've had a powerful conversation with someone or something just triggered this new idea that you've had, write it down, write yourself a letter so that you can go back and read it. Another thing you can do is record things, like a voice audio so that you can go back and listen to it. Or you can mark up a book, like I like to dog ear books or put little notes in it so that you have this reference point you can always go back to, because now you know your brain can do this. So when it goes back to that, you can rediscover what stretched it in the first place. I'm totally interjecting something new here. One other really important, almost most important way of stretching your boundaries and growing your brain is through action. Action, action, action. Talking and thinking and having insights is so powerful and fabulous. But what really can keep your brain like this is to then act on it and to do the insight, do the discovery, do the awareness. Because that really gets it dialed in. And it almost is like an immediate way of going from here, boop, and it stretches, and then action, keeps it there and makes it bigger automatically. So I had to put that in there. Okay, continuing on. And the last little thing that I've realized that I think is really cool is that over time, the more willing you are to stretch and stretch and stretch your brain, you will find that the rubber band gets bigger. Right? So the rubber band gets bigger, and then your new normal is this kind of increased degree and measure of self-awareness and insight and discovery. But what's so cool is that there is always space for your brain to grow and stretch. And over time, the more willing you are to engage in these powerful conversations, to engage in self-learning and discovery, your brain and your level of awareness just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, until you're just working with this really huge, beautiful source of potential up here. And it's never ending. This could be an infinitely sized rubber band and there would still be stretch, which is what I think is super exciting, that there's never a top, there's never an end to learning or discovery. So those are my ideas about the rubber band. I would love to know your thoughts. You can leave them in the comments below. If you like this kind of stuff, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, or you can visit my website at allegrastein.com and send me a note there. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon.